So, you're a romance reader. I hear that tropes are a thing for you and that you likely have favorites. Really? Now, you might accuse me of being a curmudgeon, but I'd rather turn expectations upside down than deliver the same story I've read in the past. So let's start with age gap. Typically, this is an older man with a younger woman, but in the Deveran Conflict Series, our favorite heroine, Brenna, is a bit more than 10 years older than Garrick. Mind you, he's the eldest of his siblings and is quite responsible and mature, but she was already a famous, award-winning pianist before he was even born. How about forbidden love? Garrick is Temerian, a culture well known for its clannish xenophobia. Brenna is Lithian. She's technically not even the same species. They endure all manner of disapproval over this, but can't hide the obvious devotion that binds them together. Secrets can be dangerous, especially if they're not completely true. This happens twice in my series. The first time, Brenna hears a wicked rumor that brings Garrick's integrity into question. The second time involves a drunken escapade that does some real damage, made much worse by Garrick's reluctance to admit what happened. Opposites are usually bad boy, good girl, but in my stories, it's a skeptic and a believer. Garrick is rational, where Brenna is a woman of faith. How does that work? You'll have to read the series to find out. There's also different worlds. Brenna is the daughter of a wealthy Lithian warlord. She had servants until she fled her embattled homeland. But Garrick is the son of an impoverished Temerian farmer. Until he joined the army, all he'd ever known was hard work. People who see this image frequently presume that there's an enemies to lovers trope happening. But when these two first meet, Brenna is alone, vulnerable, and very cold. She has the knife out as a reasonable precaution to defend herself from a stranger. Garrick has to convince her that he's trustworthy, and also has to trust that she won't slit his throat while he's climbing to safety with her on his back. There are two love triangles in the first book, but they're more about misunderstanding than actual competition. The issue in both comes down to a question of trust. We explore forced proximity. Brenna is a refugee who is very far from home, and the only person she feels she can trust is Garrick. She's out of her element and wants him at her side so she can navigate an alien culture. She also has unique healing skills, while he can speak a language that she also knows, forcing him to serve as her translator. Finally, there's the obvious curvy heroine trope, but if you read the stories, I'm quite confident you'll grow angry at the way our favorite heroine is treated, simply because of her shape. There is much more to a good woman than what draws the eye, and she can't help how she looks. So it's not just boy meets girl and falls in love. It's not a collection of the same tired tropes that you've read 100 times. It's adventure for your mind and romance for your heart.